There, one.
All right, coming up on this week's podcast, we're going to talk smartphones, new smartphones, plus we honor the Oscars, and of course, go crowdfunding. That's all on this week's podcast. Let's go.
Bandwidth Boys Podcast.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
We talk about stuff, tech stuff.
Right now, hear our music. I think there's a long delay this week.
What?
You know, he's been off for 2 weeks. We come back and boom, we're off and running. Welcome in to the Bandwidth Boys podcast. I'm Conaway.
Oh, you're Connolly. Yes, I'm Greg.
We're out of order. And I'm Matt.
Struggling to keep up here. We're back, all three of us, on the podcast, back better than ever. How are you, Greg?
Fine, thank you. It's been a busy week, a busy weekend. We got big birthdays going on in my household, so it's just been a shuffle and a juggle. It's good.
I know you have to celebrate 3 birthdays in the February time period.
Well, not just the time period, all on the same day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, more booze, I say, more booze.
Try to lubricate the situation. All right.
Can we jump into it?
Let's do it. Let's get right into what's going on, tech world.
What's going on in tech world?
I'm dying.
You're first.
I am. Thank you. Attention, Apple fans. Tim Cook's next Apple product event is going to be the week of March 21st, not March 15th, as previously reported. Apple is expected to release information on their upcoming iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch product tweaks. It's unclear if the event was moved or if Apple had always planned for this date.
Well, in case anyone out there is still sporting a BlackBerry or even older Nokia phones, WhatsApp is cutting them loose. Ooh, the Facebook-owned company announced their upgrade will no longer support those platforms at all. The messaging app has over 9 million users and sends more than 10 billion messages a day. No small loss for BlackBerry phones either.
Oh, that's me.
The worst.
The worst. That's 900 million users, not just 900 million. But
Yes, 900 million users.
Sony's playing with your reality. Virtual reality, that is. Sony recently filed a patent for a new virtual reality glove interface device that presumably will integrate into upcoming PlayStation games. The glove includes sensors that respond to the slightest touch or flex of a finger. The patent explains the motivation behind the glove is to simply provide a way of touching, holding, playing, interfacing, or contacting virtual objects shown on a display screen. Sounds like you need a friend. No date is set when the device will be finished and available to PlayStation gamers.
YouTube CEO tweeted out a message of thanks to her followers for bringing their concerns regarding YouTube's complaint system to her attention. Popular YouTube channels have complained about copyright violations to YouTube, saying those complaints go ignored for too long, sometimes a week at a time, causing a potential loss in monetization. Some channels are so fed up they're considering pulling their videos entirely. YouTube wants to make it clear they are assembling a team to fix this problem as quickly as possible.
Thank goodness, Google.
Mm-hmm. And 8 days after a new app premiered allowing users to become any Instagram user they wanted has been shut down. The app titled Being had its API access pulled by Instagram. Before being shut down, the app had acquired more than 40,000 users. Users were able to gain access to public users' followers list and view what their feed would look like, thereby being that particular user. I believe it's otherwise known as hacking. It's still unclear why the API access was pulled and whether or not it was intentional.
And that's a wrap on what's going on, Tech World. Why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah, can you explain? So
No, I can't.
So you would log in, you would pick someone,
Yes.
and then it would show you what it would look like if you were
If you were
logged in as
them. Right.
What does that matter?
I don't know.
What's the interest in that?
To feel what it feels like to be a celebrity. I don't know. I wasn't one of those 40,000 users who jumped on that Bing bandwagon.
Do you have an Instagram?
I do have an Instagram.
Hmm.
You know who also has an Instagram? The old guy on the show, Greg Mills.
Greg Mills has an
Greg
Instagram?
Mills has an Instagram account.
It's true. It has a tendency to atrophy, but I jump started every once in a while when people hop on there.
I tagged him in a post. He never responded, so I didn't take it personally, though.
You know why that is?
You forgot your password?
No,
Oh.
I don't have a problem there.
You don't know how to...
No, I think I understand how to use it.
All right.
I think the biggest reason is that I don't have push notifications come from very many things on my phone because it drives me bananas. So I have to actively be going and looking for those things. So don't be offended. It just means that I didn't look.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about me.
I didn't want to say that I don't care.
That's what
We get it. It's fine.
That sounds different than I just didn't look at it.
That's right. Matt and I will fill in the blank for you. All right.
That's today's game.
So
Thank you.
let's jump into the big talk this week.
All right.
I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
So last week, the Mobile World Congress 2016 hit the streets of. Matt has something in his mouth. I said it last week, and Matt goes, "That's not how you pronounce it." So I was going to have Matt say it.
Barcelona.
Say it again.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Oh, the Castilian Spanish. Yes, I get
I
it.
said, like a normal person, Barcelona.
Well, yeah.
Matt said, so I had him say it this week.
Mhm.
So, last week we promised that we'd do a deeper dive into the Mobile World Conference this week, since last week we talked about Apple and FBI, and I guess we'll update you on where the heck that story is coming up a little later in the show, because my goodness, what a week it's been for the Apple and FBI. But we'll do Mobile World Congress, and I'll lead the discussion here. I
Please
took a
do.
look at... Absolutely. So I kind of broke my notes into different sections: trends, interesting facts, and then some of the major headlines that came out of it. And so we'll dive into trends first. So one of the biggest trends at Mobile World Congress 2016 was delivering high-speed internet to cell phones over the 5G bandwidth. So 5G was a huge talk at the Mobile World Congress. It will be 10 times faster than LTE. You guys want to take a guess when 5G will start to roll out?
2020.
Okay, Matt says 2020. Greg, you want to take a guess?
5G.
5G.
Wow. I'll go.
It took 10 years for LTE to roll out.
Yeah. I guess I'll go a little longer and do like 2023 or something.
And they say 5G, 10 times faster than LTE, with instant latency, will be ready for consumers by 2018.
Ooh.
So in 2 short years, we'll be able to check our Facebook faster than ever before. So
and spend $600 more on a new phone.
Exactly. But what I found most interesting is there's no equipment yet for 5G. So at the Mobile World Congress, it was just an idea of what it was going to be. So there's no quite implementation yet. But apparently
They're aware that it's currently 2016, aren't they? Or
that's what I'm saying. So that just blew my mind.
Well, they did a demo of it, didn't they? Like Verizon went out there and set up a 5G antenna.
Sure. I think they called it 5G, but I think it's like when we took the 4G LTE term and just kind of trashed it and said, oh yeah, this is faster than 3G, so we'll just call it 4G, but in actuality it wasn't. And so I think that's kind of what the test was.
4.5G.
Right. So.
But they say the final product, in fact, will be.
Right. It'll be 10 times faster than LTE. Not in Pullman, of course. Just in major cities, that's not Pullman.
Pullman will see it in 2030.
We'll see LTE soon here in Pullman. So that was a big trend amongst a lot of phone makers.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, most smartphones included, which you two are huge fans of, thumbprint sensors.
Yes.
Yes.
It's about time.
So a lot of smartphones coming out of China and Samsung and LG will all include a thumbprint sensor to unlock the phones, and to basic security in general with purchasing and whatnot. So that was a big hit at Mobile World Congress. And also, I mean, something that's not shocking is that most phones in 2016 will come out of China. They say 95% of phones will come out of China, which to me was a big number.
That is big.
Gigantic number.
In China, or from Chinese
Assembled and
companies?
came from China.
Oh,
95%.
unless Trump becomes president.
Right.
Then
Then
that's all.
it's back here in America because we're going to build a wall. And then the last trend that I noticed on all cell phones is we've kind of, except for Apple, decided on a comfortable screen size to be at, and so all cell phones that were released and talked about are around 5.1 inches to 5.5 inches, and so that's kind of the optimal screen size that that new smartphones.
I don't even know what the measurement. What's the measurement on the 6?
Don't know.
Matt?
Isn't it like 5.3?
So it's in between the 5.1 and 5.5.
Did I make that up?
What's your 6 Plus?
I think it's.
It's gigantic. That's
should
all I know.
This.
So
Okay, anyway.
I think consumers have kind of stuck in that 5.1 to 5.3 range.
Where
for-
I'm living, somewhere in there.
Right, is the most comfortable spot for people to be in.
Yeah.
So, not only did they, those were the trends, some interesting facts about just streaming and data in general that I found interesting and love to pick your guys' brain about. I'll first kick off with Netflix. They held a conference or a presentation while they were there at Mobile World Conference. And guess, out of 100% of people that signed up for a new Netflix account, guess what percentage was from a laptop or desktop? To sign up for a new Netflix account, what was the percentage of people that signed up from a desktop and laptop?
30%.
Dang you! All right, you took my number, so let's see. I think I'll go ahead and just reach lower and do 20.
All right. The correct answer, 42%.
Oh, okay, so it's still pretty
of
high.
all new users signed up from a laptop and desktop. Only 27% signed up from their phone. And we see it a lot. I mean, working in the public media sector, it's hard to get money over phones and sign up and whatnot. And so people are still paying things in the traditional desktop, laptop sort of way. So 42%.
Where did the
I
other
thought was pretty interesting.
40% of people sign up?
I
On the
don't know.
phone?
27% came from phones.
No, but how else do you sign up for Netflix if it's not on a phone or a computer?
Well, I think tablet.
Oh. Well, I haven't reached the point where that just gets folded into a mobile
Right.
position, but
Why you gotta ask the tough
I
questions?
don't know why we haven't done that yet. It's all mobile.
Because you can make more money if you separate it.
If I'm understanding it right, though, it really is gauging that in a standalone computer in someone's home, near the larger television that they watch most of this Netflix on, that's the two are sort of tied together that way.
Right.
I would guess it would bleed in a little bit to the fact that they're not watching Netflix on their mobile device as much as they're watching it on their television through the. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
What else? 60% of mobile users are concerned about their data plan. So 60% of people immediately turn on Wi-Fi when available. I thought the number would have been higher, but
Yeah.
so that was a presentation on marketing and how marketers need to keep that in mind when producing mobile ads and whatnot. People are very concerned about data, and if you go to a site that's inundated with ads that sucks your data, chances are you're not going to go back to that site. And so that was an interesting fact. Here, the good old Facebook Mark Zuckerberg made an appearance. Took way too long, I think, in my opinion, rambling on and on about VR, and he gave this fact: more than 1 million hours of VR content have been watched on the Samsung Gear devices, which seems astronomically high to me. 1 million hours of VR content has been watched on Samsung Gear devices to date. Does that seem high to anyone?
No.
That seems normal. I mean, I have. I don't even know what content's available. But I'm not excited for VR. I'm one of those people that I'm good. I'm good not being in a VR world.
Just reality's good for you.
Reality is good. I'm all for augmented reality, putting screens or displays while I'm walking with sunglasses and that type of thing. But I'm not interested in the VR world. So
Yeah.
the 1 million hours of content watched seemed a little much for me.
Well, or where are they getting the data? I guess. Oh, you said on Samsung devices, so
Right.
obviously there was some sort of a collection test done with Samsung
Right.
only.
Yes, it's only with Samsung because that's what Zuckerberg was presenting at.
Sure. Yeah.
Big whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Twitter's vice president of global brand said blank % of social media's platform video views happened on mobile. So on Twitter, blank percentage of videos were viewed on mobile. What's that percentage?
70.
Yeah. 80.
92. 92% of all videos were streamed from a mobile device. So these are just kind of interesting things that show you where we are in terms of data and content consumption. People
Sure.
are a little wary of paying, spending, signing up things on mobile. Happy to do it on desktop, but once it goes to enjoying content and watching movies and watching short stuff, they do that on the go and on mobile device. So that's why I found most of these trends pretty interesting. And finally, BuzzFeed, the good old BuzzFeed. How many, on the viral website, how many content views do you think they get monthly? Content views. Every month.
BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed.
Gosh.
Let me just say in 2012, it was 100 million.
Whew.
2012, it was 100 million every month.
And how are they able to monetize that?
Ads
Lots and lots of ads.
and sponsored content. Every other article. I'm going
Okay.
to say 450 million.
450 million. All right, Greg.
Gosh. I feel like I'm just sort of wildly casting about. I don't know that I really have a guess. I'd just be saying a number.
6 billion
Billion.
A month?
every month. Content views, 6 billion. That's up from 100 million in 2012. So it goes to show people
Goodness
love some viral
sake.
content. All right. Any kind of thoughts on data trends, content consumption, that kind of stuff from you two?
I think the data is the most interesting to me because
love
we're in the beginnings. I think, well, not just I think, we're in the beginnings of a transition into the way that the providers are going about providing it. We're just starting to turn the corner. We're even just on the regular old phone front that T-Mobile, for instance, just dove directly into the unlimited thing.
I am a huge fan of data and Google Trends and anything that gives me numbers to wrap my head around. I love it. So
I think it's interesting that it seems like cell providers are becoming almost like cable companies, and that
Very much so.
main staple thing is just kind of going away, right? No one really uses, no one makes phone calls or really sends text messages, right? Everything is just data.
my wife makes phone calls.
Well,
We have a home phone. We have a landline.
you are of the gross minority.
But
Many times over. I can tell you that much.
yeah, but I don't know. I think we all use it to text and make some phone calls. Still, all of us do to a certain extent. It's just that at some point that was a big deal to the providers, and then they moved away from that deal and said, "Oh, okay, forget it. You can text as much as you want and call as much as you want." Now, if you're going to try to stream something, they're just in the flow of money, and then when people get fed up with it and say this is just should be something we should have more of for not this much money, then they'll move on to whatever the next thing is, and I'm not sure what the next thing is, but.
Yeah, well, I know me personally, I use almost no minutes, just because, and I know you use almost no text messages except texting Connolly because he doesn't have an iPhone. But even making phone calls, I'm making phone
Well,
calls.
if I had an iPhone, then you use data.
Yeah, but when I'm making phone calls anywhere I have Wi-Fi, and all my phone calls are going out over Wi-Fi, they're not going out on the cell network. So my actual minutes used as far as the carrier's concerned is almost zero.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at my, those numbers in a long time. The only thing you keep track of, like you said, is your data usage.
Yeah.
Especially on a family plan.
All right. So one predictable thing that was going to happen was Samsung was going to release their new flagship phone, and they did. The Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. God bless them for sticking with that Edge. I don't know why they still sell it, but they're pushing it out.
Someone's buying it.
I guess so. Or they don't want to admit that it sucked. But Samsung released their S7 and S7 Edge for a whopping, anyone want to take a guess? Not on contract. Retail price,
$899.
Greg?
Oh, I think
What's the
it's.
guess that?
I'm gonna guess $599.
$669 and $779 for the incredible Edge technology. So
Incredible.
that's the that's the suggested retail price. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Expandable slot, 232 gigs of internal storage, screen size 5.1 inches, and 5.5 for the Edge Sports. So, better resolution, same size screen, just another number, I guess. More under the hood stuff. LG also released their phone, the G5. Anyone want to take a guess how much that is?
$749.
$779.
Wow.
They are promoting it to smartphone power users with the latest by continuing to offer a removable battery. So that's LG's selling point. A lot of cell phones, smartphone carriers don't have removable batteries anymore, but LG is sticking to it. Apparently, they improved their camera. You're able to get down to an f1.8 on your camera with the new LG 5.3-inch screen. All right. So tell me what you think about this phone. This phone is called the Net X Bit. Have you heard about it?
I have not.
It's a Kickstarter project about 2 years ago, and so now it's a real tangible device. It retails for $399, so not a bad price in comparing to the Samsung LG. But here's what makes it different. It has 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and it has 100 gigabytes of online storage. So what it does with unused apps, it sends those apps to the cloud automatically to free up space on your phone to free up the 32 gigs of internal storage. What do you guys think of that? Does it automatically?
Does it use data?
Oh, probably.
Oh.
Well, how else would it do it?
Well, I mean,
it probably, or you can just set it to Wi-Fi only.
yeah, I'm wondering or if they have some agreement where that phone data doesn't count. Because then I could see the purpose.
Of uploading.
Yeah. But if you're constantly using your data and you have to pull it up and down, then
Right.
why wouldn't you just have a bigger storage capacity on your phone?
Yeah, and so that's the reason they have 100 gigs of online storage was to keep that price down. The bigger you make it, the more expensive that price becomes. And so the starting point for this phone is $399, which is half the price of a Samsung or an LG flagship phone, even an iPhone. It's half that price, and the way they did that was to create this online storage system for not only your photos but your apps as well. And I thought that was the most creative part, is putting apps up in the cloud automatically.
Why is it so much more expensive to provide storage in the phone? Is it just due to its small size? Because in laptop computers or anything of that sort, the storage is the least expensive thing anymore. So what's the deal with the phone?
I think it's size. They're trying to keep it as thin and small as possible, lightweight as possible. So the more storage you have to add, the bigger hard drive you have to put in, the more expensive it becomes.
Are they being fairly progressive? Is this something you think the other phone makers are planning to probably start doing anyway?
No.
No. Okay.
No way.
I think maybe if we get to 5G and data becomes unlimited for all, where that transaction of uploading that app and bringing it back down with all the data happens instantaneously. But I think until that time, this won't be a fad. But, it's something cool to try out that this company thought, hey, everyone's connected all the time. Why not use some of that freedom to remove things from your internal memory? And so, good on them for only $399. I thought was pretty cool. So, and then last week on the top stories, you talked about CAT. I don't know if you were, or Greg wasn't here, but CAT, the big gigantic truck construction type business, right?
Caterpillar.
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 Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
Yep.
Good call.
Yep.
That's why Matt's here. Caterpillar, they came out with
Well, you sirs are gone.
Hey, Greg's still here.
What happened?
Matt kicked me off.
It just everything just stopped working.
Matt
It
kicked
was
us-
crazy. You just went to a black screen. It was very appropriate for a technology-based podcast, I think.
It's what we do around. But
You were saying Caterpillar.
Caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
Made a smartphone where right alongside the regular camera, they created a thermal camera. So the goal or the idea is to give first responders and like firefighters the ability to look into a building with just their smartphone to see if there's where the dangers and where the rescue may happen. So all on a smartphone. So I thought that was pretty cool. But all in all, I would say Mobile World Congress was a giant failure, like CES was for me.
Wow,
It was a bunch of-
Whoa.
It was just a bunch. I mean, I know we had to improve products under the hood, but that's really all it was. It wasn't very sexy. There wasn't a big splash that I think will happen.
5G is a
28.
big splash.
Not when it's just a concept. When it actually happens and you can actually show me that you can provide this speed, then maybe I'll be impressed. But just the concept of 5G, I've heard it before. Didn't need this conference to prove that they were working on it. So
Maybe that's your problem with these conferences. Is I feel like these conferences and shows are
I
all
expect
about,
too much.
Yeah,
Concept.
they're all about showing concepts and showing what they're working on, not showing what's finished. Right? They're
But
showing,
isn't that why you love Apple and their big conferences? Because they show you what they did.
yeah,
They show you all the cool stuff.
yeah, but that's not what a true trade show is. That's more of a
Mm.
product presentation. Right?
Sure. Maybe I
And some
just-
companies choose to release the information and the product before it's really ready, and others choose to wait until they feel like it's ready to go.
You have too high of expectations.
that's the problem.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
What's on Matt's mind?
Can anyone
has
guess what I'm going to talk about today?
Nope, don't know. Greg, you got a guess?
It's going to be a hard one, Craig.
Well, let's see. I think the high volume guess is about various charging devices, but the one that Matt may have purchased.
Greg, you weren't here last week, so I'm hoping to get some of your input this week.
Okay.
Last week, I said that I was
Matt says a lot of things, by the way.
I was pretty confident that that there's a small piece of Apple that was doing this for, or there's a small piece of Apple that was doing what they were doing to protect their own bottom line. And I still believe that's true. But I believe, and this is an idea, that the FBI is working equally as hard, if not far harder, to protect their own bottom line.
What you talking about, Willis?
I'm talking about on February 9th. Was it February 9th? No. On January 13th. There's
Close enough. February 9th, January 13th. It's
You
only
could have sold me on the 9th, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You could have sold me on the 9th, too.
I'm being factual here.
I know,
There's
that's
3
great. I
dates.
appreciate that.
January 13th, at a Washington summit on strong cryptography, Tim Cook and
Sounds
Attorney
like a
General.
snooze fest.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's all very exciting. Tim Cook and Attorney General Loretta Lynch talked about backdoors, and they basically got into a big argument at this summit.
That sounds fun.
On February 9th, Lynch, the Attorney General, requested an additional $38 million to go to the FBI to help them work on encryption. And that would bring they have this project called Project Going Dark, and it would have brought funding to $69 million. And then a few days later, on February 16th, the FBI took Apple to court for their iPhone. I'm not saying that it seems like they're trying to build up their own case and build up a case as to why they need this additional $38 million. But I'm not saying they're not.
Interesting. I heard a lot of interviews this week about the Apple FBI story, and the more interviews and the more reports came out, the more it sounded like the FBI was telling the public that, no, really, it's just this one phone.
Mhm.
We only want this one phone. We could care less about all the other phones that we'd be able to get into. We only want this phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, the angle they were taking on selling this idea to the American public. I mean, listen, if they wanted it to happen, the best way to have solved this and got into that phone wasn't to take it to the media, wasn't to talk out loud about what they wanted to happen. It was for the president, the head of the FBI, and Tim Cook to lock themselves in a room, don't tell anyone what the hell they're doing, and figure out the best way to accomplish what both parties want. The worst thing to happen with this situation was it went to the media and it became mainstream.
I think
If it was truly about one phone, that's what I'm saying. If it was truly about just this one phone, they should have done it behind closed doors.
I don't. Think
Is there one person on this one planet who believes that they want to get into one phone? I would. One person.
There's a lot of people who believe it's just this one phone. There's a lot of people out there. I mean, you read Facebook comments on articles that are posted about this, and there are a lot of people who are emotionally wrapped up into the story saying it's all about this one phone because it's going to help stop ISIS. It's going to help stop terrorism. And I trust the FBI that it's just this one phone. There are a lot of people who think that.
Really? So the end of terrorism on American soil as we know it will be
Solved
the San Bernardino shootings, and it will be solved because we got into the one phone. And from that point forward, we will never see another Timothy McVeigh or anybody else or anywhere that will occur, or the Boston Marathon or the whatever. None of it. None of it will ever happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's reassuring. I would say, yeah, if that's the case, then let's do it.
But don't you think if the FBI really wanted this to happen, right? They wouldn't have gone to the public.
Yeah.
And if the president really wanted to happen, if the president really, really wanted national security to be number one, he would have pulled rank, locked him in a room, and said, do it. Figure out a way to protect both your entities, but figure out a way to make this happen. And you're not going to leave this room. We'll order Chinese for the next 5 days if we have to. But we're going to sit here, we're not going to tell anyone what we're doing, and we're going to figure it out. If that really was what they wanted to happen. And it doesn't sound like it.
It's almost like they're trying to create another like post 9/11 world where it's an opportunity and it's an open door.
Right.
And they can spin it in a way that anyone who doesn't support it is anti-American or is
correct.
Not who would protect
I agree with you.
I thought it was interesting, though, that I think it was the chief of police at San Bernardino even said himself that there was a very, very, very low chance that there would be anything of any use on this phone.
But
he still supported the FBI because the FBI should be able to get into a phone if they need to.
Right.
Which I think is a definition of trying to set precedent, but maybe that's just me.
Nope, I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think it's a far better example of protecting yourself from overreaching a government than any of the want to hole yourself up with all kinds of automatic weaponry arguments that we've been having over the decades as far as the overreach of government. I think this is the example of overreach of government that people were worried about back in the revolutionary times when they were concerned and felt like they needed to bear arms for that very reason. At least to me, the metaphor is there. This is the better example.
On Matt's Mind.
I mean, this story's gonna last a while, right?
I hope
it's gonna go to the Supreme Court. There's no way around.
I hope it goes quick.
It's not going to.
Because if this takes too long, people are going to lose interest and they're going to stop caring.
That's
and stop
what
listening.
the Bandwidth Boys podcast is all about, keeping the story in the news. You're welcome.
We're doing a public service.
What I'm saying.
So, fellas, baby got back. Baby got back.
Crowdfunding time.
Gotta wait to the end. You gotta wait to the end. Last week,
I did.
Matt. No, I know. Last week, Matt took over the show. He took the Greg reins, and he hosted the show. and he jumped every stinger. Like, he didn't let it breathe. He didn't let the whip happen. He just jumped all over it. So thank
And
you.
then this week, we were a little slow on the uptake at the beginning, but it was just because I think part of it was that some of the names on the script were a little jumbled at the top there. That's all. But we'll get by it. It happens.
That's right.
Things happen in real time here. This is a real podcast with real people.
The people will be okay with it. All right. So this time we go to the world of a Kickstarter. All right. I am not an animal person. I don't know if you guys know that. You probably know that. But I'm not an animal person. But this week,
Do not know that.
I decided to tackle an animal product. This product is called the Fishbit. Anyone want to take a guess what it's for?
Fish.
Fish. Genius. It's a smart aquarium is what it is. A smart aquarium.
I'm back from
Take a listen.
We love fish. We're here to bring your tank into the 21st century. We do this with real-time measurement of your water and intelligent control of your aquarium's devices. That means your fish and corals are thriving, whether you're in front of your tank, at work, or anywhere in the world. Finally, the connected tank. So here's how it works. Plug a controller in, drop your monitor in the tank, and download the app. The hardware connects through Wi-Fi, and you have instant access to your aquarium right from your pocket. Boom. Want to dim your lights? Fishbit gives you control. Want to have them turn on and off at the same time every day? Throw away these old clunky timers. We do that too. You want to have your lights follow the Indonesian sun cycle? Takes less than a minute to set up. Want to keep your fish and coral happy with stable parameters? Set up an ATO that would even make NASA jealous. Automatically adding water not only based on water level, but also perfect salinity. Time to get serious. Let's talk about safety. If your heater fails, don't worry, because we cut the power to it. Worried your tank's going to overflow? Let's set up some fail-safes to stop that. If your water quality is out of whack, we alert you and help you fix it. Ultimately, Fishbit means your tank will be happier. But don't just take it from me. Hear it from some of my closest colleagues and friends.
I love it!
This pH level is lovely, isn't it? Oh, those corals are so nice.
Is this heaven? No, it's just my home.
No need to salt your food, boys. The salinity levels are fantastic.
Help.
In all seriousness, help us make Fishbit a reality. With your help, we can take our 50 beta units into mass production, delivering Fishbit in just a few months. We thank you for your time and support.
All right, there you go. The Fishbit, your aquarium made simple. So the video kind of explained exactly what it is. It's sensors and a on-off type extension cord that you put with your fish tank, and you can control and get different readings from the smartphone app. So it's able to monitor the water temperature, the pH, the salinity, and you can control it with a device controller. You can turn on and off LED lights depending on what you want your fish to do, and it's all run on the Fishbit app. Greg, what do you think?
What I think is I can't believe it isn't already available.
Insane. Matt? Matt's just confused with his computer.
My computer's broken. No, I think it's cool. I think it's actually a useful thing.
Yeah.
Unlike some things we've seen before on this segment.
I don't know what you're talking about, the robots, but I thought the robots were cool. So I like the Fishbit, and then I found out how much it cost. And then I
So it's a smart grid or smart home for fish. It should be
exactly.
Well, all right.
Which I think is cool if you're a fish lover.
Oh yeah, and people who are into it spend a lot of money on the fish themselves and the various accoutrements that go in the aquariums, and if you got the salt thing going and all that, anyway.
And
there's a lot of money in this.
The cool thing, it's all controlled on the app, and it'll continuously tell you different levels, and then it'll give you suggestions on how to fix those pH levels and temperature-wise. If it's too cold, you can buy this sensor to increase the water temperature.
Sure.
Regulated, and tells you, hey, dip genius, it's time to clean your tank because your fish a lot in there. So it's a cool concept. I think people who love fish will jump all over it. So let's get into pricing, shall we?
Yes, please.
Which is where Connolly jumped off the bandwagon. So, which is a preview of what mine will be. So, at the $395 level,
Jeez.
is where you have to jump in to get this entire system. So you got at $395, you get the Fishbit system, which includes the device control, which looks like an extension. What do you call those?
Surge protector.
Surge protector. So from there,
sure.
it's essentially turning on and off different things.
Mhm.
So it's an on-off switch controlled by the app. And the second thing you get is the water monitor. So it helps tell you pH levels and temperature off of that monitor. So you get those two things at the $395 level. There's cheaper levels you can jump in at to get different things. So you can jump in at the $195 level, but that only gets you the controller. You can jump in at the $225 level, but that only gets you the water monitor. Or you can jump in at the $275 level, but that only gets you the device controller. So to go all
What's
the way.
the point without all of it? Maybe I guess there is a point to some of that, but
Right. So to really jump in head first, all the way in,
$395.
$395. Oh wait, that's only for the water monitor that does pH and temperature.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. I guess that's not the number you have to jump in at. $455 is the number you have to jump in at. You get the device controller, then you get the water monitor plus. The plus is the pH temperature, but then it also does salinity and water levels.
So basically.
So $455 gets you all the way in there.
So $455 to get you the product the video talks about.
Correct. $455. So we'll start with Gregors. Greg, are you going to back the project or not?
Well, I think the level that you have to get in at is in a different tax bracket than I operate in. I don't do pets at that level, and I do pets, and I am an animal person. But that just sounds like that's for the big saline tank with all of the fancy $200 fish that you have in there. And if you're that person and you can afford that, it makes complete sense to kind of go smart home on it. It would be pretty kitschy, but that's more cash than I've got.
With the red arrow and everything. I love it. Matt, back or not?
I'd back it.
All right.
Is this a Matt that I... What?
Well,
Who is this guy?
If I actually had a fish tank and I actually had expensive fish in there, yeah, it's like an insurance policy, right? Like when you're
I agree.
home, a policy telling you, hey, if something goes wrong, we'll tell you before you just come home and they're all dead.
All right. There you go.
I mean, I'm not going to get it for my goldfish.
What's wrong? Your goldfish that you win at the elementary state fair that they just give away?
Yeah, but I mean, if I had a real aquarium and I had some real money in it, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to just do an addendum to that.
Go ahead.
The addendum has to do with goldfish. It's funny, you described the very goldfish that we have in our home, that live in our kitchen. They were brought home by somebody from a school project.
Go.
And my wife, how she does it, I don't know. Most of the time, you've got belly up fish within months.
It's because
we have fish. These goldfish have been alive for like 5 years. I mean, they're going to outlive the dogs, I'm afraid.
Man.
It is an odd thing going on.
I think when I was younger, my parents would switch out the goldfish so I didn't have to learn about death.
Weren't they kind?
Just saying.
You're a special snowflake.
That's what I tell myself. And for me, if I would back or not back, you know my answer.
I know.
That's just a lot of money. I don't think a fish is worth that. But what you gonna do? All right. So if you're interested though, on Kickstarter, it's called the Fishbit, Your Aquarium Made Simple by Current Labs, and Matt voted yes, and Greg and I voted no. So 2-1. The Bandwidth Boys podcast decides not to back it. Brah.
Everyone's gone to the movies, now we're alone and left. Everyone's gone to the movies, now we're alone.
I figured, Greg, you would like that song.
I don't know that I'm familiar with that song. What? Fill me in. Fill me in as to why I would like that song.
Well, it's a Steely Dan song.
Oh, maybe I just didn't hear the.
Everyone's going to the movies.
Oh, my apologies. I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't catch it. Okay.
Tonight,
and I do love Steely Dan, and thank you for that.
You're welcome. The reason for that song is tonight, as you all know, is the gigantic Academy Oscars. It's going on for like the 10th hour. And so today, I figured we play a little game to honor the Oscars and to kind of test your knowledge on music. Everyone loves music, right?
Sure.
I think Matt will have a hard time with this game, but we'll
what
see.
you think just Matt's gonna have a hard time, huh? I'd have a hard time with all the games, right? Yeah.
I think you're going to excel at this game, but it's just a theory.
Oh, I don't know, man. Go ahead.
My iPad away.
Because there's the answers on here
Oh,
that you can't see.
I was trying to.
So there are 8 songs, okay? And so
8 songs.
there's an old game that was called Name That Tune.
Name that tune. Yes.
I do know that.
Oh my God, Matt knows that game. So we're going to kind of play in that style. You two are going to offer. There's 3 choices: 5 seconds of the song, 3 seconds of the song, and 1 second of the song. So you're going to offer. I can name that song in 1, 3, or 5 seconds. Okay. You get 5 points for 1 second. 3 points for 3 seconds.
1 second.
And 1 point for 5 seconds. Okay.
I gotta go volume on one point here.
So let's start off. Let's start off in 2013. Okay.
2013.
2013. Anyone want to throw out a number? I'm only going to give you a year. We go from there.
I'm assuming we go one at a time.
Well, it's whoever can outbid each other.
Oh.
5. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna need 5 seconds. I'm
Okay,
sure.
Greg's got 5.
Are we like starting newest and moving oldest, or is this all random?
It's just all random.
Oh. I could probably do it in 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Matt's going to do it in 3.
Let's see.
2013. Oh, by the way, all these songs are Oscar-winning songs. So this song is a 2013 soundtrack winner. So I think you'll get it, though. I have faith that you'll get it. So here we go. 2013. You say you can name it in 3 seconds. Here we go.
Frozen, Let It Go.
Nice.
See, that's not too
That
bad,
was easy.
right? All right, Frozen, Let It Go. You're absolutely correct. Music and lyrics by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez. So there you go. All right, 2010.
5 seconds.
Matt says 5.
I might as well try 3. I'm behind.
There's 3. Here we go. 2010. I gotta look for the button first. All right, I found the button. Here we go. 2010.
Not close. Yeah, don't have a clue.
2010. Name the song and artist. Or movie.
Ain't happening. Matt?
Matt, you want it again?
Want to take that one?
I have no clue.
2013 or 2010.
10.
Movie was Toy Story 3. Song was We Belong Together, music and lyrics by the one and only Randy Newman.
Randy Newman, yeah.
All right. That's okay. That was a tough one. Here we go. 2002. 2002.
Goodness sakes. 5.
Greg says 5.
You can let it.
All right. Here we go. 2002.
You're supposed to watch me suffer.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, it's the what is it? 8 mile or 3 mile or 1 mile or whatever. It's God dang it! I know what 8. I don't know what it is. I know who it is, but I can't remember. No, it doesn't matter.
Do you need it again, or you got it? Here, I'll play it again.
Wait. What? No, I know what it is. Was one of his not right? I thought he said it.
Oh,
No,
it's
you-
Eminem. Is what
Title.
it's Eminem, but
it's
something.
title and-
Oh, lose yourself. 8 Mile.
That is correct. Lose Yourself, 8 Mile. You get 1 point for that. Eminem is correct. Music by Eminem, Jeff Bass, and Luis Resto. Lyrics by the one and only Eminem. All right.
The real Slim Shady.
1997.
My name is
What?
1997.
Okay, I'll give you the genre. Romance. 1997 romance.
5 seconds.
Matt says 5.
Greg, do it in 3.
Greg, I bet
All
you-
right, I'll try. I'll try.
All right, here you go. 3. 1997 romance movie. Remember the song title and the movie.
Mm.
Oh, I want this one.
I'm not gonna. I'm definitely not gonna know the. No, I'm not gonna know either one of them. That's what I'm not gonna know. Matt.
My Heart Will Go On, Titanic.
Man. I'm not going to ask you how you know that movie, but excellent. So, Matt's up 7-0. It's all right, Greg. You still have time to come back.
You just gotta start doing
Dude,
these second ones.
film.
I
Not an area of any. I mean, I hardly see any movies ever. So it's like it's gonna take me 90 seconds to even.
Your wife's
remember.
going to make fun of you for this game, Matt. Or Greg. Sorry, I didn't mean Matt. Whoopsie. Freudian slip.
I don't think so. I think a lot of the reason we don't see film is that she doesn't want to go to them. So.
All right, here we go.
But whatever, it doesn't matter.
The year I was born, 1987.
Mm.
Genre, romance. Ish. I don't know what to classify this one as.
Romance-ish.
1987. The year Connolly was born. 28 years ago. This was the epic soundtrack to this famous movie. Romance-ish.
I'm not gonna.
19.
know it.
You will know it. 1987.
I'm so scared of this game that I can't even bid.
Greg, take it for 5.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
5.
okay, all right.
You'll get it.
I have no confidence, none.
I have tons of confidence you'll get this one. 1987, name the title and the movie.
Mm. Well, it's the time of my life, but I have no idea what movie that was a part of, 1987 or any other year.
All right,
Dirty Dancing.
that is correct. All right, 1987, I've Had the Time of My Life, Dirty Dancing, music by Frank Privet, John DeNicola, and Donald Markovitz. Lyrics by Frankie Prevsky.
Nice.
No one puts baby in a corner. Tell you that much. All right, here we go. This one may be a little hard for either of you. We got 3 more.
Never seen the film. Yeah. Yeah.
The year 1983. 1983. You guys can
Okay.
work as a team. How about that? Just for pride.
That'll be
1983.
Yeah.
Here we go. 5 seconds. Is that good for you guys?
Is there a 10-second?
There's a 5. Let's do the 1. Let's for fun. Let's do the 1. Here we go.
Okay. All right.
1983. $1983.
1983.
All right, we'll do 5.
Oh, it's Flashdance. What a feeling.
What a Feeling is right from the movie.
Flashdance.
Excellent. 1983 music by Giorgio Moroder, lyrics by Keith Forsey and Irene Cara.
Cara.
Person that sang it. All right, 2 more. Here we go. Back to 1977.
Woo!
1977. I know this song. We'll do 1. We'll do 1 second. So Greg.
All right.
Here we go. 1.
You light up my life.
Movie?
I've no idea.
That's okay. You get it. Uh-oh. We're tied. 8
There's no possible way
That was 1
we're
second.
tied.
5 points for 1 second. The last one was 3, so you got 3 seconds. 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm all about my math.
That's funny.
All right. Winner take all. Here we go. 1980. It's a musical.
Okay.
1980. It's a musical.
Okay.
Who wants to bid first? Winner take all. All you need is 1 point.
3.
Greg says 3.
You going 1?
I'll go 1.
Matt's going to go 1. Here we go.
Go
1980. A musical. You ready?
Yeah.
That was it.
Greg's ears perked up.
I'll do it again. 1980. Musical. Best sound. Song soundtrack of 1980.
Gosh, I mean, is it Grease 2 or is it some crazy thing like that?
It's not even your turn.
Grease?
No.
Oh, Faith. Oh, yeah.
1980, the song is Fame, the movie's Fame, music by Michael Gore, and lyrics by Dean Ford.
Ha!
There you go. A
Tough.
little tribute to the Oscars.
And a nice one.
Very disappointed.
Everyone's gone to the movies. Now we're alone and learn. Everyone's gone to the movies. Now we're
It's so funny.
You tied
Played
8-8.
that song.
Nobody won. It's all, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Guess better, I think, probably is what we should do.
All right, let's jump into the final segment of the night. Time for our rants and raves, and I think I know what Matt's going to rant about, but this entire show, Matt has been non-existent. Oh, Greg, you got anything? You can lead off first.
Yeah, I have a very regional rant, a West Coast regional rant. And my rant is I am having no success being able to use my Pac-12 app and get it to AirPlay properly or even play for any length of time properly. And I'm quite irritated as I am a sports fan. And I'm a Pac-12 sports fan. And I'm just super disappointed that not only can I not get it to AirPlay, I'm particularly disappointed that it's not available on my Apple TV. I think it's just a sad mishap in putting together contracts, but not to have it be successfully able to AirPlay just makes me use bad language.
Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too?
All right, I can tell you the secret because I've had this frustration.
Okay.
I use my Pac-12 app because it's also available on the Time Warner app. But the Pac-12 app AirPlays a lot better than the Time Warner app. So here's what you have to do to make it work. Because it's how I watch. That's how I watch all the
I'm
basketball.
on my phone, right? So are you going from your phone?
Well, I'm going from the iPad because I don't have an iPhone.
Okay, fine, but whatever.
Same concept.
Yes.
All right, here's what you got to do. You got to open and launch the Pac-12 app. Let it breathe. Let it do its thing. Just let all the images pop up.
Like a wine.
Like a fine wine, you got to decant it a little bit. Then you have to hit play on the iPad and let your program start playing.
I know. It doesn't even offer you the opportunity to AirPlay it for about 15 minutes.
What? You just slide your finger up.
No, this
Isn't
little
that how you
AirPlay. When I'm talking about on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You just slide
There's
up
a little air there. I know, but there's a little AirPlay thing up in the upper right-hand
don't
corner.
use that.
It
Don't
doesn't
use
even it doesn't even show up and
Don't
for a
use
while.
that.
Yeah, you
Don't
don't
use
use
that. Don't do that. Hit play.
Slide
let,
up from the bottom.
Let the La Quinta ad play. Let the La Quinta thing go
Oh,
all
I know.
the La Quinta thing. Then the
I
game's
do.
going to start. Once the game starts, slide your finger up, hit AirPlay, and then it's going to flash on your screen, and then you have to hit play again. Your phone's going to be black.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
Yeah, then you have to hit play, and boom, you'll be able to watch it. Because that's how I watch all the basketball season. But you can't wait for that. Don't do it.
I know. I have also, but I've gotten it going, and it just blanks out on me often, and it just drives me berserk.
And we know it's not your internet because you got like 500 gigs.
You have like
you got real internet down in Spokane.
I got real internet, but I mean, I understand the Wi-Fi, but it's still plenty fast enough to be running that AirPlay. So I'm just disappointed, but I'll keep working at it. But I'm disappointed that it doesn't work very well right out of the app, so to speak.
Right.
It's just really, really clunky, and most of the time I give up.
Because I can honestly say that once I get the Pac-12 thing playing on my screen, it never stops, never clunks out, just powers on through for the whole game.
Yeah, I've been clunking even when I get it going, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm disappointed.
But I'm with you. I want the Pac-12 app on my damn Apple TV. What you're gonna do?
Because any of the sports apps that you don't have to AirPlay, or any of the apps, period, they just look marvelous, and they keep playing, and it's really a good experience.
All right.
So there's
Matt,
that.
You got something, Matt?
Well, I was gonna have a rave for Apple.
Not tonight.
But most recently, I have a rant for, I don't even know. Maybe it's Google. Something with Google. My computer.